Hi, my name is Joe McConnell. I'm a seventh grade science teacher. I've been teaching here in Speedway since 1979. Yes, I'm old, but I like to think that this job and working in this discipline has kept me as young mentally as I can possibly be. I work with your kids in an area of general science. We find that when kids get to junior high, their science background has been somewhat limited because there has been an accentuation and preoccupation with major things like math and language arts and reading. Totally understandable. But now science has become an equal discipline in the academic schedule. So I'm going to give you an idea of what we do in science and what I will expect of your kids and what you can expect of me. The book that we'll be using is this book. You're going to see it. It's an iScience book. It is basically the complementary book to the book that they would have seen and used in the sixth grade had they been in Speedway schools. It is a McGraw-Hill book. I had some say in the actual selection of this book. I thought it was so well written, written on a level the kids could pretty easily understand, even though some of the reading is a bit technical and certainly new to them. It is written at a level I think most kids will be able to read. In class, we do a lot of oral reading, and of course visual reading. So all kids are reading in class. We read all passages in class. I will seldom ever ask kids to do a reading out assignment outside of the classroom. In addition to this particular book, we do have a notebook or workbook that we use, and you're going to see that from time to time. It looks like this. It is a mirror of everything that we would read. Is going to be replicated in question format on several different pages here, organized by individual lessons. Some of the lessons might only consist of 2 of the individual worksheets. Others may go 4 or even 5. Every page of this particular notebook that gets graded and evaluated, and all do get graded and evaluated, are worth 5 points. I have a policy and always have had a policy that kids should, when they grade their own work, not mark it wrong, but make it right. And so when we review this, I will grade it for completion, but I will not give them a grade for whether an answer is exactly right or exactly wrong. I will write them notes if they're way off base, and I'll actually write in this book. So it'll be kind of like an annal of the things that I communicate to them, like a little journal in a sense. And then when we review it, it will be their responsibility to fix anything that might actually be wrong in our review session. Kids are also going to be required to keep a journal. We keep a daily journal in science. The journal keeps a day-by-day tab of the various things that we do. That might include note-taking. That might include preparation of a lesson that will be graded and evaluated. It might include working out math skill problems, things like that, or recording a table, chart, or some other diagrammatic kind of illustration. So we'll find graphic organizers in here, definitions in here, answers to questions in here. So many things will be packaged in this journal. The entire first semester, kids are allowed to utilize their journal in testing, quizzing situations, unless it is a quiz that would require memorization of specific things. Like microscope use, I would require kids to memorize the function, purpose, and name of various microscope parts. And that is something the journal would not be used for to assist them in that endeavor. The last thing that we would have or possess would be a pocket folder, which kind of green replicates our color. This green pocket folder is a place where they will hold most of the materials. If you ever look in the pocket folder, the front pocket of the pocket folder will hold materials which have not been graded, or should hold materials that have not been graded. And the back pocket would be where they put materials that are graded. There are some resource pages that are found in here, as well as on page 2, an actual page that will, if you look in that pocket folder, will give you access to a kind of welcome 7th grader letter. And also we would have filled in some blanks there as we would read through and discuss how we're going to hold class, how we're going to do various things in class. As you know, kids are pretty socially distanced, and that has presented a bit of a problem in the sense of doing labs. We will try to do as many labs as possible. Many of the labs we'll do will have to limit to 2-member groups, when in fact we probably would be better prepared to go 3 or 4 people per group. We have our first real lab, which happened in the last couple of days, called a linear measure lab, and kids are working on that in the classroom. Lab work is almost always completely done in the classroom, and is not something that I would ask them to do outside of the classroom. One last thing, just very quickly, most parents are concerned about grades. I'm going to show you very quickly here how that basically works. If you look at a pie graph, it's pretty simple. With a pie graph, you have basically portions of that pie designated to specific areas. So let's say the top portion is homework. Anything I would ask them to do, that would include a 9-week evaluation of that journal, and also science notebook pages that were in that green notebook that I said were all 5-point increments. So all those things would fall into the homework category. Homework is anything that might be started in the classroom and might need to be finished at home. And then there are some assignments which are assigned and kids are expected to finish at home, but those are rare and far few between. We do about 3 or 4 homework graded activities per week, most of which you'll never see because they stay in the journal or they stay in the science notebook and they are completed at school. 50% of the grade is based on a combination of, do we have a quiz now and again, which we do? Do we have tests? Well, we certainly do. Do we have special projects? Yeah, that happens occasionally. So these are all areas that we would get assessment grades in that 50% category. The last one is one that we do as often as we can when we are prepared to actually do it by understanding the material that we're covering first, and that is a lab. So we have multiple labs throughout the course of the year. So we have a 50-50 kind of even, Steven, nice balance between those 2 general areas. Now, as far as I am concerned, you can reach me during 5th periods. So anytime around, between 1 and 1:30, I'm usually able to come to the phone if you would call my phone. You can actually call my phone here earlier than that, or even when school is out of session, and I will see that you've left a message. You can also reach me via email. Now, the phone number here is 244-3359, and my room number is 12201. So 12201. 12 stands for junior high. 201 is my room number. So if you call me, please identify yourself, let me know what the problem is, and then I can try to sort out what you may need to know so that when I return the call, we don't have any wasted time for either you nor me, and I can address the problem or maybe get to the bottom of what's actually happening. Another way to reach me, of course, is you can send me an email. It's jmcconnell, McConnell, at speedwayschools.net. It's J McConnell, McConnell, and it's at speedwayschools.net. I thank you for your time, and I hope the open house experience hasn't been too dreadfully boring, but I look forward to speaking with you and meeting you. And if you have any questions about how your son or daughter is doing, please feel free to contact me at any time. Thanks for your time, and have a wonderful evening.